Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 15 favourite movies from the year 1997. This was by far a much better year than 96 for me, even though there were some great ones in there. But yeah, just really enjoyed the movies this year. Had to offer a hell of a lot more, in my opinion. And yeah, that being said, these all have 1997 against their name from IMDb. Yeah, these are just, again, my personal favourite top 15 movies. Your list is going to be different. And as always as well, I'm going to leave a full list of honourable mentions down below in the description box. There are some guilty pleasures in there, terrible movies that I just really enjoy. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, going to kick it off with number 15. So coming in at number 15 for me, we have an absolutely amazing film, and that is Life is Beautiful. This is just a fantastic World War II movie about a father providing nothing but love and protection for his son. It's just, yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, this film. I just absolutely love it. It's this father and son who are stuck in this concentration camp. And rather than expose his son to the horrors of war and what's really going on, he pretty much tells his son that this is all just a big game and we're a couple of the contestants taking part in this huge game. And he makes the rules up as he goes along just to try and shield his son from the horrors of war. It's a beautiful film, so well acted. And yeah, the ending to this movie is just absolutely heartbreaking. And yeah, it's just a cracking film. The reason why it comes in at 15 for me is just because it's not one I rewatch a hell of a lot, but the technical aspect is there. It's a cracking film. It's definitely worth checking out if you've not seen it. So yeah, coming in at 15 for me, we have Life is Beautiful. So coming in at number 14, we've got Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Yeah, this movie is so fun. It encapsulates the 90s so well with its soundtrack. The absolute blend of 90s and 80s music in this movie is just great. It pretty much follows these two girls who pretty much never really accomplished anything after high school, and their big reunions coming up. And they decide to, let's just pretend that we made it and we were really successful after we left school. And they try and show up these other sort of schools they went, these other girls they went to school with who just were absolute bitches at school, and they still are now. And yeah, they get a bit of comeuppance in the end. It's just a fun, entertaining movie. And I just really like the look of the movie. I love the aesthetics of it. It's so 90s, but yeah, it's just really enjoyable. So yeah, that is my number 14 pick, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. So coming in at number 13 for me, we have Private Parts. Yeah, I didn't really know much about this film going into it, or who Howard Stern really was. The only thing I knew him from was sort of like America's Got Talent. But yeah, I rewatched this film. It sort of tells the story of how he became this this big DJ in America. But it's a fictionalized sort of imagining of it. But he really was this controversial, I guess. And yeah, it's one of those 90s movies that's hilarious. It's rude. It's over the top. It's just, yeah, entertaining sleaze, but told quite well, in my opinion. And I find this movie so entertaining. It's just a treat. Really enjoy it. I think Stern himself is quite likable in the film. But yeah, he's pushing boundaries on the radio, as he always does. Paul Giamatti makes for a great villain in this film as well. And yeah, it's just silly, over-the-top nudity as well in some places. The bit with the speaker in this film is just hysterical. The face he makes is just so funny. But yeah, I do dig this one quite a bit. So yeah, that is my number 13 pick, Private Parts. So coming in at number 12 for me, we have LA Confidential. This is another one of these movies with an amazing cast: Kim Basinger, Russell Crowe, Kevin Spacey, Danny DeVito, Guy Pearce, James Cromwell. Awesome cast, and I just love the setting of this movie. It feels like a film noir in the modern day of releases. It's just great. It has that great setting to it. Hollywood looks amazing in the film. It's just a treat and a delight if you like those film noir movies like Double Indemnity, Sunset Boulevard. Really is a love letter to those types of movies, and yeah, just got a great cast to it as well. So yeah, full of mystery, full of, Kim Basinger is like the femme fatale, the detectives, all the cliches are there, but it's executed so well, and I just really enjoy this one. So yeah, coming up at my next pick, we have LA Confidential. So just missing out on the top 10, coming in at number 11, we have Grosse Point Blank, starring John Cusack, Minnie Driver. Also, Dan Aykroyd's in this as well. This is, again, another movie I really like. It sort of follows John Cusack, who has become this hitman, and it's his high school reunion. And he ends up going back to it, but there's a few people after him because of his job and what he does, and he meets sort of like an old flame in Minnie Driver. As always, as well, in so many John Cusack movies, you've got Jeremy Piven, who's like his right-hand man in nearly everything he's in. But yeah, this is just a really good movie. I enjoy the competition dynamic between Cusack and Dan Aykroyd's character. He says some really mean and, quite frankly, downright horrible stuff in this film. But yeah, it's just top full of fun action. Really dig it, really enjoy it, and yeah, just have a blast with this one. So just missing out on the top 10 at number 11, we have Grosse Point Blank. So coming in at number 10 for me is Men in Black. Yeah, really fun, cool sci-fi movie from 97. Really enjoy this one. It pretty much follows Will Smith's character, who gets sort of, wrong place at wrong time, brought in by this government agency who pretty much work with these aliens, tracking them down, evil ones, capturing them, killing them. Really cool little fun sci-fi movie. I think Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith in this movie have amazing chemistry. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is terrifying as the villain in this film as well. But yeah, again, I love Tommy Lee Jones's deadpan delivery in this movie. He's just absolutely great. It's all second nature to him, all this alien stuff. And we're sort of sat in the same seat as Will Smith. We're going along for the ride, discovering things for the first time. Yeah, it's just another entertaining movie that I just have an absolute blast with. So yeah, coming in at number 10 for me, we have Men in Black. So coming in at number 9 for me is two movies, and I couldn't decide between them. I knew they were both going to be on this list, but I had to put them together. They both star Nicolas Cage. I tend to watch these two movies back to back because they're just some of the funnest 90s action movies. And it is Conair and Face Off. Conair's great. It's this prison plane which is transporting all these prisoners. Nicolas Cage he's coming to the end of his sentence, and he just wants to go home, visit his daughter, be with his family. But everything goes wrong. John Malkovich, Cyrus the Virus is great. Yeah, another movie with John Cusack as well, that playing the detective, just trying to secure the plane and make sure everything goes okay, which it doesn't. And Face Off is one of the most ludicrous, over the top movie plots ever. And yet it works so well. John Woo nails it. It's just, the entertainment level is off the charts in this one. Nick Cage and Travolta have such great chemistry, trying to outact each other, trying to outchew the scenery. Yeah, it's a blast. So yeah, have a really good time with these two movies. So coming in at ninth place, we have Conair and Face Off. So coming in at number 8 for me, we have Ang Lee's The Ice Storm. Absolutely fantastic cast in this movie. Joan Allen, Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Christina Ricci, Elijah Wood, and Tobey Maguire. Just this awesome, awesome drama about family life, affairs going on. It has this really cool undertone to it about like swingers clubs and all that kind of stuff going on. It's just there's elements of comic book stuff in this movie as well. It just has this really calm surface about it, but there's just this really dark undertone to it, which I just absolutely love. It's one of Ang Lee's best movies, in my opinion. And yeah, I just have a great time with it. I just think it's a fantastic drama with an amazing cast. So yeah, really, really enjoy this one. So yeah, that is my next pick, The Ice Storm. So coming in at number 7 for me is a comedy I have a lot of fun with. It was the first of a trilogy, even though I do prefer the second one. But yeah, the first one for me is still a lot of fun. And it is Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery. This was, a great character from Mike Myers after the Wayne's World movies, which I absolutely loved. Sees him, sort of be this sort of silly James Bond-esque type of character. It definitely plays homage to those types of movies of the 60s. He's frozen as well in time, to try and go after the villain, Dr. Evil, also played by Myers. They have such a great dynamic against each other, even though they're played by the same person. And yeah, it's that silly, over-the-top humour. Absolutely love it. Liz Haley is great as Miss Kensington, the love interest. Michael York's great as the sort of M of the movie, Basil. It's fun, it's cliched, it's silly, it's over the top, it's chock-a-block full of cameos. Great silly spy espionage movie that I just have a great time with. So yeah, that is my number 7 pick, Austin Powers. So coming in at number 6 for me is Kurt Russell in Breakdown. Absolutely phenomenal film, this one. So tense, so edge of your seat stuff. Just brilliant. Kurt Russell and his wife are on the road going through, this derelict, completely barren sort of area of America. And their truck breaks down. This other trucker turns up, offers to give his wife a lift into town to, phone for help. Time passes by, they don't come back. So Kurt Russell manages to get the car going, drives past, sees the driver, pulls him over to the road. The driver claims that he's never ever seen him before. And it just leads to an absolute fantastic premise and setup of a movie. Really, really love it. This one is it's so suspenseful. It's great. It feels like a modern Hitchcock movie. It's just wonderful. And the scary thing about this movie is when you find out what is going on and what is happening, it feels so diegetic to real life. This could actually really be happening somewhere. And the thought of that is just absolutely terrifying. Huge testament to this movie. The ending is a bit cliched, over the top, a little bit unbelievable, but it's so satisfying, and yeah, just really enjoy this one. So yeah, that is my number 6 pick, Breakdown. So coming in at number 5 for me is Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers. I loved this movie as a kid. Saw it when I was way too young. It's a Paul Verhoeven movie, so this movie is going to be in your face with its violence, and Starship Troopers definitely doesn't let up. It is as simple as, humans from Earth are fighting these outer space aliens. That's the movie. It just has this propaganda tone and feel about it, like these old sort of war videos. And it's just great. It's over the top. It's silly. It's another Paul Verhoeven hit, from the likes of RoboCop and Total Recall. This definitely follows suit to those movies. And amazing casts as well. Great supporting cast. Marshall Bell, Michael Ironside, Denise Richards. It's great. It's over the top. And that brain bug is one of the most horrifically designed aliens I've ever seen in a movie. What that thing does is chilling when you see how it kills its prey. It's horrible. It is horrific, but I love the movie nonetheless. It's so good. It's so entertaining. Really cheesy stuff, but my word, what a blast of a film. So yeah, coming in at number 5 for me, we have Starship Troopers. So coming in at number 4 for me, this was a movie I absolutely grew up with. When this movie came out at the cinema, I was obviously too young to see it, but my God, you couldn't escape it. It was fucking everywhere. And that is James Cameron's Titanic. Yeah, absolutely love this film. It's not for everyone. I know there's the cheesy romance aspect to the movie is not for everyone, but for me it really works. I think Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet have amazing chemistry in this film. Absolutely wonderful. James Cameron did a great job of coming up with sort of backstories for two fictitious individuals here. But yeah, it really works for me. Really, really care about these characters on this ship. But the real testament of the movie, the real scope of the movie, what really works for it so well for me is when that ship starts to sink. My God, you feel it. The music, the scale of it, the noises the ship makes, the look of it. You feel the cold when that ship is under the water. You feel the cold that people go through. You see the icy breath in the air, the wetness of it. It is just terrifying, and it just gives you the chills. It is horrific. The ship hits the iceberg about halfway through the movie, and the second half of the movie is that ship sinking. And my God, it's so effective, so well done. Huge testament to Cameron for this film. Just absolutely nailed it with the detail, in my opinion. And yeah, it's a great movie. It's a 3-hour movie that feels like 90 minutes for me, but yeah, really, really enjoy this one. So coming in at 4th place for me, just missing out on the podium places, is Titanic. So taking the bronze medal for me, coming in at 3rd place, we have Good Will Hunting. This is an amazing film. I just think this movie is absolutely wonderful. It's 10 out of 10 for me. Who knew Matt Damon and Ben Affleck could pen such a tight and bulletproof script, in my opinion? Just absolutely phenomenal. Great story about this janitor called Will Hunting who has more to offer. He's got so much talent when it comes to mathematics, and he's just underachieved. He's the janitor of this college, and there's a lot more to him that meets the eye. He's tried, connecting with other sort of types of psychiatrists, and eventually he meets with Robin Williams, and Robin Williams is just another impactful arsenal to this movie. He's this movie's secret weapon. He is phenomenal in this film, and the chemistry that they have is great in this film. This is one of the best heartwarming movies. So well written, so relatable, absolutely phenomenal film. The acting in it is just on point. Everything about this movie I absolutely love. The direction, the script, the acting, the look of the movie, the cast. It all works for me. It's so solid. Absolutely love it. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Got some of the best lines in it ever. So yeah, coming in at number 3 for me, we have Good Will Hunting. So coming in at number 2 for me, taking the silver medal, is The Full Monty. This was another movie similar to Titanic that was just massive here in the UK. You couldn't escape it. It was a phenomenon when it came out. It was just the movie everyone wanted to see. And yeah, I managed to see it when it came out on video. I was too young to see it at the pictures. But yeah, this is just such a clever and relatable film, especially now I'm an adult, when the troubles of finding work and being made redundant. And a lot of the context of the movie went over my head when I was younger. And yeah, it's just a great film. It's a very, very special film for me. I have personal ties to this film. And yeah, that's what makes it so high on the list for me. This is a movie that a lot of, my childhood friends, we would all talk about. We would always quote this movie. It's just about guys being out of work who decide, let's just do this stripping gig and we'll just get some money from it. Let's just try it and see what happens. And that's the movie. There's just so much going on in the film as well. It's so relatable, so relevant to the time it was made. And yeah, it's just a great feel-good movie. I just really, really enjoy this one. So coming in at number 2 for me, we have The Full Monty. So that leaves us with one movie left. And for anyone who knows me, this was always going to be number 1. I just adore this film. I have nothing negative to say about it. And it is Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights. Yeah, I knew of the film before seeing it. I'd heard about it, but didn't know anything of what it was about, to be honest. And I picked it up on DVD, put the disc in and watched it. And I was just enthralled for its nearly 3-hour runtime. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. The characters in the movie were just so great. The look of the movie, the soundtrack, all the fun little scenes in the movie. I was in heaven watching it. I was just absolutely blown away by how good this movie was. And that's probably the best way to approach the film. Don't, watch this movie. Don't do any research about it. Just go in knowing nothing about it. But for me, it was just great. It's just sort of these characters who are so dependent on the porn industry that they just can't function without it. It just tells, the highs and lows of what they go through the 70s and the 80s. It blends the 2 decades so well. The soundtrack is amazing. The cast is amazing. Everything about this film just worked for me. It ticked every box. And I just absolutely loved it. Yeah, just what a blast. What a great film. So, yeah. Coming in at number 1 for me, we have Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights. So, yeah, those are my top favourite 15 movies from the year 1997, guys. Gonna leave the video there and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.